Hey everybody, Frank Finance here. Hope you're having a wonderful day. As you probably already know from watching this video, Facebook is down big off of information from their earnings. They're down about 20% from about $320 to $250 a share after hours. Now when I saw that, I had to go look at the earnings. So earnings per share came in not very far off, about 4% off from where they were expected. I'll show that here. And then also their revenue came in above. So what was the big deal? What are people freaking out about? So really where it comes down is to Reality Labs. And it seems like people are worried that this is going to take out a chunk of earnings for future quarters. Now, I'll go ahead and put out how much they're spending on Reality Labs. I think it's somewhere around $3 billion here in this last quarter. Another thing that people are pointing at is the slow revenue growth between Q4 of 2021 and Q1 of 2022, guided between 3 and 11%. Now, let me just tell you that it means something, but it doesn't mean everything. You really need to look at what the full year guidance is for revenue and see what they're going to grow at. If we look back at what is estimated, they're looking at roughly 140 billion in revenue, up about almost 20% for full year 2022. That's what they're looking towards. That's what the analysts have them guided to, and they didn't guide outside of that. So that's one concern that people are talking about. However, they need to cool down the rhetoric a little bit on that. So one other thing I want to point out is their price to earnings is currently at 23. If the stock stays at 250 where it dropped down to after market, you are looking at a price to earnings somewhere around 18.5. So you're looking at a large US tech stock trading under 20 P/E. Come on, guys. Now, with all that being said, I decided to enter into a position into Facebook on the hopes of getting out on a swing trade. Now, what I was able to do was after market, I entered into a buy position. I was able to get it for $249 a share. I'll go ahead and put the trade in right here. And my hope is to be able to sell it for $275 to $300 within the next week. I don't plan on holding this for a long term. This is purely a swing trade. Now, I do need to clear things up on this. This is more of a speculation play. I would not consider this as a pure investment, mainly because there is a lot more risk involved with this, as more the investments that I typically recommend are more long-term. They are more sure investments, whereas this is a very short-term play, and it doesn't mean it has no guarantee that it's going to work out. Now, another reason why I like this play is I like to look at patterns. And one of the recent things that happened was Netflix earnings. We saw a very similar drop after hours. So when Netflix released that they were going to have slower growth over 2022 and they gave that guidance, we saw a 20% drop in after hours, and that reflected in the next day's trading. Over the next couple days, Netflix was down about 30%. So my expectation is Facebook tomorrow could trade around probably where they're at after hours, maybe a little bit lower. If they're up, I may consider selling, but the expectation is they're probably going to be a little bit lower than where I bought them after hours. And then the expectation is they may continue to drop after that. But in the next 3 to 4 days after, we're probably going to see some extra buyers step in. Now, depending on where this trades down, I may double up on the position. It just depends on what is happening. But if I do see 275 or 300 in the next 3 to 4 days, more than likely I'll go ahead and exit the position. If you like this type of content, please consider subscribing. I do videos on personal finance, investing, and stock analysis. If you like this type of content, please hit that like button. And thank you so much for watching. My name is Frank Finance, out.